Now we are at the break of the hours, but so I'll just quickly open it to the audience. If you have any specific questions for any of our experts here.
My name is Prakash Tatia. I have been steel sector for more than 46 years. Since it is a very important deliberations going on, so first I am throwing some very interesting numbers, and then my concerns, and then looking forward to the answers. I know that it can't be a one answer, but let's deliberate. As far as interesting numbers are concerned, if we look at our Indian industry in 1980, the total steel production of India was 6 million ton. And now it is more than 140 million. That time the ratio of blast furnace versus the secondary was 100% blast furnace and 0 secondary sector. And today it is much higher than the global ratio. Globally 70-30 and India is 45-55. So the fact is this sector is growing very fast. In fact, even Jalna's production is much higher than what we have produced in 1980. So more than 6 million ton. So in this kind of situation, and now the entire world is talking about the decarbonization, and which is a very important topic. And we have to live with that. Other day, World Steel Association president was also talking very categorically that this carbon footprint is going to come, it is going to exist, and we have to live with this kind of situation. Now in this scenario, and we have to grow to 300 million, and by 2047, 500 million ton. Secondary sector certainly is going to play a significant role. But then the concerns are how to address this raw material security. One raw material is your melting scrap, which Mr. Jain has also explained, and day by day things are becoming very critical. So unless government takes very aggressive step on certain guidelines, like scrapping policy and all that, I mean, it is going to be a difficult task to get the melting scrap. Interestingly, yesterday I was reading one article in Khalid Times
Sir,
in
sorry
Dubai.
to interrupt, sir. Can we quickly go to the question, please?
Yeah, so I'm just saying how to get the scrap. And second is, the entire sector has grown through the coal-based sponge iron. Is there any way to address the carbon footprint by doing some R&D in the coal-based sponge iron, so that otherwise there is a big challenge. So what are the solutions? I can even ask IIT professor, what do you think, how to address carbon footprint through the coal-based sponge iron, or how to get the scrap? Thank you.
Yeah, as far as coal-based, rotary kilns are concerned, we all know that gas-based DRI process is going to be much more carbon, emission-wise, it is going to be much less. And if tomorrow green hydrogen becomes the reality, then that will be the path forward. Now the problem is, we all know that the capex which is needed for the gas-based DRI is much more, and we have much smaller units. So possibly, this is one of the, the sector has to, one of the ways possibly could evolve is, we will have some DRI producers who will only produce using gas-based DRI units, and you may call them medium or whatever, and they will supply DRI to smaller induction. So some kind of, that is, actually we have written such a paper, some time back. This is what probably the sector will evolve in that way. And that way, I think, because at the end, we want to have induction furnaces, and that too near the market. Possibly that is one of the reasons. So DRI getting transported, there are some few producers of DRI which are on the medium scale, and induction furnaces. Possibly that is one of the model which one can think of. Yeah. Any other thoughts?
Mr. Das would like to add something.
Hello. Just to supplement what Professor has said, yes, that is the issue. In fact, I am associated with the industry and also little bit in the ministry. The, I told in my opening remarks, straight away, if you see today there is no way out to reduce the CO2 emission, except of course for, reducing the energy consumption, reducing the coal rate. These are low-hanging fruits. That can be done. But beyond that, making as you are saying, greening the sector, coal-based DRI is a difficult job. But I am, pessimistic, at the same time optimistic. One solution he has told, and Energy Argon people have developed a model of 0.25 million ton, which is only 2.5 lakh ton. And probably some conglomerates they can come forward and have a joint collaboration and produce many such units. Not only that, already we have got big DRI producers, coal-based. They can also go for this. Yes, cost is there, probably, but in years to come with coal trading system, with the carbon tax, probably this may be viable. I'm not saying it will be viable. This is point number one. Point number two, even in the coal-based units today, as I told, people are really working to find out ways and means as to whether we can really go for the, I don't want to say green, but near green steel. And I am working with Professor Sen of IIT Kharagpur. One of the suggestions he makes, it is not my suggestion, let me tell you, he makes is that let DRI not produce DRI. This rotary kiln. Let them produce the half DRI or partially reduced DRI.
Okay.
May not be true for everybody, but somebody. And let that be supplied to the blast furnace. And so their business will continue as long as the life cycle continues, they can go for that. This is one. I think Tatiaji asked one more question about the scrap. I think all of us in this house, we know the scrap problem. And I'm sorry, although I'm a part of the government, 2019 we have brought the scrap recycling policy just 1 year after I left the ministry. We also worked a lot on that. We brought vehicle scrappage policy. Probably government is now going back on that. So there has been hardly any impact. I'm sorry to say that. But I am also optimistic. How? See, today I think we have to go away from the kavadiwalas to some more, automatic systems like scrap processing unit. Government is trying on that, but even I am not very satisfied with that. But Tata Steel, as you know, I think in Haryana, they have come with this thing, and they are also going for electric arc furnace. So many such units are required in the country to have modern facilities for not only for collection, but processing. I think one of the panelists, he talked about that with scrap processing, scrap preheating, and automatic charging, you can reduce the energy consumption to a great extent. So on scrap availability, it is not only the government, I think the industry people all are here, and a lot of developments have been made in the country about the scrap processing equipments. Probably things will be improving. Yes, we may not be dependent, because imports will not be available. I think you can write down this fact. Everybody wants to conserve their scrap with them to make green steel. So you may not get any green steel. Domestic sector, everybody is going for continuous casting. We are already touching 94%. When I left the ministry, it was 80%. So continuous casting ratio is increasing. So obviously the collection of scrap, processing of scrap, and using the modern methods for scrap usage are the futures, and there is no other way. Along with that, of course, green hydrogen, then DRI, and blast furnace, all have to come to, I think it is just, nobody can say that khali blast furnace rahega, electric arc furnace rahega, DRI nahi rahega. Everybody will be there, but in different proportions, depending upon CO2, and the country has to see the overall CO2. Not only one sector, sector-wise CO2 is not required. Nobody is forcing you to give sector-wise CO2. Overall country's CO2, That will be the governing principle for the country. Thank you so much.